Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm Debbie.
I'm Mark.
And you're watching Word of Mouth.
This is the most shocking case I ever tried.
Why?
Because most people are going to be disgusted by the whole thing, including doctors.
Why? What's he done?
He blinded 6 horses with a metal spike.
We just saw Equus.
Equus is about a 17-year-old boy, played by Radcliffe. He's got daddy issues.
It's really more than anything a chess match between a psychiatrist and his patient.
Richard Griffiths, who plays the psychiatrist, comes out and gives a monologue. And then you meet Kate Mulgrew, who is, I guess, an attorney who has sent this young boy to him as opposed to going to jail for a horrible crime that he has in fact committed. She wants to know why, and we all want to know why.
He gets sent there just because before they file charges and everything else against him, they want him to get his head checked. So he goes to see the psychologist. The psychologist takes him on.
The patient is a 17-year-old stable hand who actually engages in somewhat of a heinous crime.
He blinds 6 horses in one night, and you just don't know why. There's no explanation, and he has stopped talking.
He has religious issues with the horses. He feels that he's a slave to the horses, or that the horses are, he interprets it as a god, and it would seem like a lover as well.
This young man is really tormented and conflicted by certain things that have gone on in what seemed to be at first a very typical home environment, but as a psychiatrist starts to delve more and more into his psyche, he learns more and more about his upbringing and what has led him to take on this dastardly act.
Daniel Radcliffe is known worldwide as Harry Potter. And if there was ever a question about his future, when this young man takes off his cape and puts his wand down, there should be no more question. He's brilliant.
Daniel Radcliffe, this is clearly a vehicle for him. I mean, I can see it. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but I think you'd have to be from another planet not to realize that Harry Potter is Daniel Radcliffe and Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. And seeing that, he took on a challenging role here, and I think that his handlers did a brilliant service for him, because he didn't take on any acting role. He took on a role here which is a very deep and meaningful role.
I think he's trying to kind of shake the whole Harry Potter image, which I think he did a very good job with. I don't necessarily know that he had to go in a buff.
Harry Potter does get naked, and for quite a long period of time Harry Potter's naked, and got a nice body.
I'm thinking, my godson has the Harry Potter movies sitting at home, and then he walks out naked, and I'm just waiting for the guy from Dateline to walk out and say, "Hey, audience, you're under arrest." There's cookies on the counter.
Interestingly enough, you don't dwell on it. It's just part of the play, and it's just acting it out.
Richard Griffiths was brilliant. He is magnetic. You really watch him. He sits in all different positions, so there are times when his back is actually to you and you don't care. You are just watching this man and listening and watching the way his head tilts and the way his eyes move. He's really wonderful.
Richard Griffith, I saw it was Richard Griffith. I mean, he was, in some respects, he was very staid and almost perfunctory in his demeanor, but I think that's the kind of image that role had to play. He was a psychiatrist. He was as clinical as he could be in many instances, but that at the end and at certain points, as I said, he goes through his own self-analysis, as only a psychiatrist could do. And I think he does it in a manner where he's comparing himself to the victim, which is his patient, in a way that brings out a lot about his personality and what he has gone through in his life.
It was different, much different. I'm glad I played catch with my father as a young kid out in the front lawn. When I get out of here, I want to call my dad up and tell him thank you. Thanks for giving a damn about me.
Equus was wonderful. At the beginning, I was a little hesitant. I thought it was slow getting started. My husband's looking at me, I'm looking at him. We're enjoying the performances, but we weren't quite getting it. But it kept building, and by the end of the first act, you're definitely engrossed. The second act comes, and you don't think about it being over. You don't want it to be over. The second act totally mesmerizes you.
I like to play. I don't think it's for everyone, but I certainly liked it. You have to go in with an open mind, if you're, if you see that Harry Potter's in it, and you're not going to see a Harry Potter show because he stabs a lot of horses in the eyes and gets naked at the end. And I haven't seen that Harry Potter yet.
I know this sounds crazy, but when I go to a play, when I go to a movie, I judge my involvement in the activity itself, whether I want to look at my watch, whether I do look at my watch, whether I want to look at my watch. In Act 1, I did look at my watch. I want to know where we were, what it was going on. In Act 2, I didn't remember I had a watch.
I would tell my friends to probably skip it. It's probably too smart for my dumb friends. That's what it comes down to.
I think it's a good play. It's not the kind of play that I tend to go for. Tend to go for light fare, particularly when we're talking about Broadway. But it's certainly a thought-provoking play, and as I said, the acting and the storyline is compelling. If you've got the stomach for something that's kind of dark and disturbing, this is a why-done-it kind of play as opposed to a whodunit. And it's a mystery, and it's one that you really makes you think.
Do you dream often?
Yes. Do you?
Yes. Do you have a special dream?
No. Do you?
Yes. So what was your dream about last night?
I can't remember. What's yours about?
I said the truth.
That is the truth. What's yours about? The special one.
Carving up children.